Hey everybody, Mark here from the Rock Shop. I thought I would do a training video on how to coil cables. Cables may not seem like a very important thing until one doesn't work, and then suddenly it's very, very important. So it's very important to take good care of your cables. And this technique I'm going to show you is the way that sound men around the world have all agreed is the best way to coil a cable. It is not to take it and wrap it around your elbow, yanking on the end of the cable. This is where the cable always breaks, by the way, right in there. So this preserves the cable, and it also makes it easier to use. You've probably had some cables that when you try to unwind them, they just coil up on themselves and turn themselves into a big knot. That's because you're coiling it wrong. And I'm going to show you an example of how people often coil it wrong. And that is they take it, they make a little loop. What's the best way to stand here? They make a loop, then they make another loop just like it. They make another loop just like it. Making loops, making loops. And what's happening is I'm actually twisting it with my thumb and my finger. Twisting in order to get it to go the way I want. And if I can't really move my camera very well, it's starting to kink up already down on the lower part of it. And so I'm twisting it, twisting it. So imagine somebody took your arm and twisted it, twisted it, twisted it, twisted it. That's what's happening, but it's just getting twisted and twisted farther and farther down the line. So by the time you're done making all these little loops, you actually can be doing quite a bit of damage to the actual wires inside the rubber part of the cable. The shielding of the cable, I don't have an example right now. I may remake this video when I get to camp. The shielding is very, very small individual cables, lots of little individual cables, and it's very brittle. And so when you step on a cable or coil it like this for too many months, it can start doing damage to the shielding, and then you're going to pick up Mexican radio. That's what happens in the US. That's the way it is. Alright, so I've made this cable, and I may need to so it's all coiled up, and when I undo it now, it's probably going to start kinking up on itself. Yeah, a little bit. I've coiled, there we go. So, see how it's just starting to wrap around itself? That's because I kept twisting the cable the same direction. So what I really want to do, let me flex this out a little bit. See, how am I supposed to work with this now? How am I supposed to run across the stage and jump into the crowd and wow the audience with this microphone cable when it won't go its full length because it's coiling up on itself? So the trick is you make your normal cable coil like I started last time, but now remember I mentioned about twisting it with my thumb. Now I'm going to twist it the other way, and look, it's like the cable actually goes inside the loop, and that's really weird. So I make my normal cable. A way that a lot of people get this in the first place, this is a hard thing to learn and a hard thing to teach, is put your thumb down on the inside and then bring it up. And people will always kind of try to make this little lasso, but you actually want to turn it inside itself so that the loop is going the same way, but it's really counterintuitive to put the cable inside of the loop. Then I make a normal one, the other one. So what I'm doing is I'm twisting with my thumb once, starting with my thumb out and twisting in, and then I start with my thumb in and twist the cable the other way, and it comes in. Now this may be really hard to learn from a video, but I know if you're around the Rock Shop, all the return staff know how to do this, and you can ask them. Now when I go to undo this cable, it just, like, I can set this down on the ground, plug it into the microphone, and let me get a shot of this. When I walk away, it's just going to come right out, no problem. No chance of kinking up on itself, coiling up on itself, and you'll have all your distance. It's also a technique that you can use. Say you've got a 50-foot microphone cable, and you have a bunch of cables just laying around the stage, but you don't want to unplug everything to coil it. It's easy to just grab the center of a cable and start coiling it without any problems. And boom, you can get your pile of cable back at the base of the microphone stand, so the next time you have a diva on stage, they can run around and work the crowd. One bad thing that can go wrong with this is you really have to make sure you pull which end from which end. So right now this side is on my right side and this side is on my left side. If one of these goes through the middle and you pull the wrong way, you're going to get lots of knots. And so people may say, oh, I don't like knots, I don't want to coil it that way. Well, it's still going to be worth it to you to do it the right way. Also, there is a way, see if I can be tricky, to undo all the knots with just sending it right through each one of the knots. See if this works. They call me No Knot Joe. Alright, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, please do ask them. And please try to coil your cables properly so that we can use them efficiently. Oh, one other thing. You should always have like a tie on these things. Once you're done cabling them, you want to tie them either with one of those Velcro ties or you can take off your shoelace or whatever. Because if you put a bunch of cables in a stack and they're not tied up, you're never going to get them out as one cable. You're just going to have to pull the whole thing out and wrestle snakes. So anyways, hope everything's going well in your part of the world. See ya.